Good morning, everyone. This is Spook, and we are back with what I think will be the last session of Lifeless Planet. So we're going to wrap this up. God, I think we're wrapping up Resident Evil 5 next week, so that's kind of fun. Alright, now the question is, where am I even going? Oof. Well, we've got some ominous music. I'm always on board for that. Oh. So I think this might just be a straight up dead end right here. Oh, no. Okay, well. I guess that's not the way to go. Oops. Oh. Ah! Okay, well, if anyone was collecting me making funny noises while I bounced through the air, there's a good selection right there. Okay. Well, let's try this again. Yeah, let's try that outcropping there and see if okay, and I'm having one of those mornings where I can't inhale all the way. It's very annoying. Oh. So what form of erosion would just make a deep pit like that? See, these outcroppings look like mushrooms. So I'm kind of curious about that. I mean, I know this is just platforming. Oh, no, no, no. I know we're just platforming and simulating walking for the most part, but you know, I kind of wish I could find out about things like that. It's like, well, why does this look like one of those mushrooms? But there's only so much you can do when implementing any game, and satisfying a random player's curiosity can only go so far. So I've been awake since about 2 a.m. I did not sleep well last night, and I just decided, well, as long as I'm already up, I might as well get some laundry done. And, you know, I gather everything together, and, oh, how did I do that again? God, it's like I never learn. But, anyway, 4 o'clock rolls around, I've got everything packed in my over-the-shoulder bag. I'm dressed. I got all my stuff. I got my mask. I got my sanitizer. I'm ready to go. So, alright, let's call a lift. In the time that it took the lift driver to get to me, which apparently included sitting around at some location for a good 10 minutes, during which time he was 12 minutes away the entire time. Yeah, there was that, and there were, like, you can see where they're going and what their path is supposed to be, and he kept making all these bizarre wrong turns coming down here. And I know these guys kind of sit and stare at their GPS, but, you know, maybe they could learn the actual driving directions? Like, I know an actual cab driver, at least around here, there seems to be no minimum knowledge requirement. Because, man, I've seen these guys make some mistakes. But what sucks is, it took just as long to get the cab ride up to the laundromat as it would have for me to have walked there. So, I guess I'm just not going to bother with Lyft, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Whoop. I think this is a thing here. This is one of those things you're not supposed to do to a geyser, I'm certain. So I guess when there's horror stories of people trying to go in the water at certain parts of Yellowstone, when there's signs that say, "Hey, asshole, don't do that." And they essentially get boiled alive. Oops. Well, I see green stuff, so I guess I'm going in the right direction. Okay. I'm going to deviate from the path a little bit. Ooh. Oh, obsidian. Okay. Another random mineral sample, basically. When you come down to it, obsidian's pretty nifty stuff. Apart from looking really cool and making a decent weapon, you can kill White Walkers with them. With it. Oh wait, we don't talk about Game of Thrones anymore. My mistake. Oh. It's all dark and spoopy again. And of course... Oh, Inferno. That was one of my favorite Magic cards. Not because it was good, but because it set everything on fire. So, I'm again in a position where I'm having a hard time seeing anything, because the backgrounds are all dark, and I've got glare coming in. This is something I'm going to consider when I rearrange. You know, get a new computer, get a nice desk, and upgrade my production. Not that it matters. Ah. Wait, wasn't I here before? Okay, well, I have extended boost mode now, so I guess I just need to vault over to some rocks and hopefully not die. We know how that goes, don't we?
That's a bit toasty. Well, at least it's a dry heat.
So I was in a desert once. Like once. Oh, whoops! Okay, the exposed magma there, don't touch that. It burns us precious. So... But yeah, I was in, oh, what? If I can live more than 8 seconds, I'll get back to this narrative. But yeah, went on a vacation in New Mexico. Oh, oh. God, please don't show me a death counter at the end of this game. I don't think I could handle that blow to my ego right now. Anyway, we went to New Mexico for this wedding that didn't happen, and like the original plan was we were going to spend a week watching these kids while the couple that was going to get married went out on a honeymoon. And the wedding got canceled like very last minute. There were some issues that maybe they could have worked out ahead of time. But anyway, the practical upshot of which is, instead of babysitting some kids for a week, we just kind of hung around the desert, you know, doing dumb tourist shit, which is fine. I mean, who doesn't like doing that every now and then? Anyway, that place taught me, if nothing else, that the fuckers who go on about it just being a dry heat need to remember that when it's 120 degrees in the shade, it doesn't matter if it's a dry heat, because it still sucks. It's like you're just physically being beaten down by the sun. I mean, that's the kind of place where you learn why people put cardboard in their underneath their windshield when they leave the car for a bit, because it doesn't sound like much, but it does change how infernal your car is when you come back to it. And, oh, okay, and this is really gross. At least I just have bad memories of it. We went to Carlsbad Caverns, and I left a bottle of Coke in the car. Left a bottle of Coke in the car, because that's pretty much what I lived on at the time. And, you know, Coke is all black, and it absorbs heat, and you will not forget that fact when you get in from, you know, you've left the car out in the sun for a couple hours while you went underground in a nice, awesome cavern, and you come back, you get the AC for the car going, you're like, okay, this is fine, everything is fine, I'm gonna take a drink now. And it's like boiled. Oh, damn it. Boiled like my character's skin probably is at this point. And it's just... ugh. It is an unpleasant experience. Yeah, I learned a lot about why I would never live in the desert from that trip. I'm trying to remember where all we went that week. Oh, hell's bells. Let's see, we visited Roswell, which was just a waste of time and money. Carlsbad Caverns. My favorite might have been the White Sands Missile Range, because at one point you're standing on these gypsum dunes and there's these warning signs around you saying, hey, don't stay in the designated area because there's possible missile testing that's happening on 3 sides of you. Like, that is kind of awesome. It should be terrifying, but it's kind of awesome. Oh, dang it. But, and we saw the very large array, which was really cool. And it's funny because there was a whole section devoted to that part where, you know, that one time that... Okay, now I think the game's just doing that for fun. But there was a whole section about the when they were filming Contact, and they got some second unit footage there. Actually, no, wait, it might not have been second unit. I think they actually had some principal photography there too. It was so cool because we were standing outside and we're looking up at this big ass satellite dish, and the 27 or so dishes are all arranged on these 3 large tracks, and they can move them in or out as needed for the kind of observation they're doing, which is pretty cool. And of course, every now and then they have to adjust the satellites, or the dishes, so they can see out to, so they can change what they're looking at. You change how large the array is by moving them on their tracks, because I assume that has to do with the focal length of the radio tower, or damn it, how well you're focusing on the incoming radio signals. And then of course you change the position of the dishes so you can point at something else, but we actually were standing as close to one as you can get, and my dad was just like, man, it'd be so cool if one of those things, if they just started moving them right about now, and practically on friggin' cue. The satellite, oops. Okay, so I really can't get near this thing. So the satellite dish just starts rotating, just like as though he had willed it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if he'd seen some kind of schedule or something while we were inside and said, ha 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 ha, I know when this is going to happen. This is going to look so cool. I also know he'd never admit it if that was the case, but regardless, it was a really cool part of the trip. Boy, I really got on a tangent about dry heat. Jesus Christ. Okay. So it very clearly wants me here. But I'm not sure where to go from here. Because pretty much if I touch anything down here, I just die. There's too much of an angle here for me to do anything with the satellite. Or with the radio tower. And this is just going back the way I came. And if you look over there, there's Mount Doom. In case you have any hobbits you want to throw into a volcano, it's a good place to do that. Can I go over here? Whoops. Going with a no on that one. Oh. How am I most of my body? So it's funny, I should be finishing this today. And then Saturday, I'm going to push through the end of Resident Evil 5. So it's like pretty much, we're going to roll over a couple games in rapid succession. I would decide what I'm doing right after RE5. I might bite the bullet and go into 6 right away, which, admittedly, I'm not looking forward to. Because 5's problems are mostly the inventory system's kind of bad, and the writing has issues. to be certain. But apparently the big problem with 6 is there's too many QTEs, which, oh man, I don't even know if I'm in the mood to deal with that. I'm kind of tempted to hit the walkthrough guide because apart from having a hard time seeing, I don't even know where the game wants me to go at this point. Okay, that looks like I can traverse it. Oh, no, I'm just back at that tower. Well, poop on a stick. Can we go over here? This looks a lot like a dead end. Yeah, I don't think there's anywhere safe in here. Let's see if, well...
Goodness for air-conditioned spacesuit.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it feels right. Oh! Oh! Okay, well, apparently that's a thing. Okay, and then this way? Oh. Okay, this is gonna be... This looks a little perilous. Oh no. God, that was like an improvised game of Lunar Lander. There was a port of that on the VIC-20 that I used to play. I really liked it. I'm sure if I went back to it now, I'd be like, wow, this is clumsy and bad. What was I thinking? Well. Ah. Oh, she's not looking well.
Помоги, подними. Наверх!